Hey YouTube, Rob Lollier with Lollier Artistry. Well, it's been a while since I've done a video, and today we're gonna try something new. It has nothing to do with blacksmithing, but I think it'll still be fun. Um, if you're like me, you probably do a lot of different things besides blacksmithing. I'm an avid hunter. I love to hunt, and I've been kind of getting into this tree saddle thing. Never tried it. And one of the things about tree saddles is they can be expensive. They can be even more expensive than tree stands, with a lot less things. So why spend all that money if you're not sure you're going to like it? So I got thinking about it. I'm like, you could probably buy a linesman belt for climbing trees or poles. Yeah, and you can. I saw one on Amazon, I think for $35. And they're set up for climbing trees and hanging from trees. But, I'm trying to do this with as least amount of money as possible because I'm not sure if I'm going to like it. Maybe I am the old style guy who just likes to climb up in a tree and, sit all day. But I know if you sit all day, you get tired, you get antsy, you move around. And the tree saddle, I'm hearing that it's very comfortable and that you can sit all day. Um, But again, I don't want to go out and spend $500-600 on a tree saddle setup if I'm not sure I'm going to use it. So if you're watching this video, you're probably wondering, how I did it or what I'm going to do. So let's just get down to the short of it. I made this little cool drawing. Yep, there's my stick man. Now on this stick man, he's wearing his saddle. And all these are labeled and what they are. You got your saddle, your platform, you know, every little thing. Now, this is what we're going to have to recreate. We're going to have to recreate all of this because I have none of this. But why not see if we can make it and get a little crazy? I mean, we'll test it 2 feet off the ground before we ever go up, and we'll make sure that everything is good and safe. But if you're like me and you've hunted for a long time, you've gone out and bought tree stands and ladder stands and stuff like that. Well, guess what they come with? 99.9% of the time, they come with one of these fall harnesses. And I got thinking, these things are made to keep you from dying. In a worst case scenario, your tree stand gives out, cable breaks, something like that. You hang from it. So why couldn't you hang from it as a saddle? I mean, it'd be something as simple as sewing in some more stuff. I mean, every time you get one of these tree stands, a clip on, or a climber or anything, you always get this type of strap and material, and this stuff is rated for good, retention and strength. Yeah, I don't have the sewing machine to create all these little sews, like you can see the X's and all that, but being a blacksmith, I make leather sheaths, and so why not use a leather needle that we use for sewing leather, and I've got the wax cotton cord. This stuff is very thick, very strong stuff. So why couldn't you just hand sew it in? You make it so it's good and you trust your sewing abilities, but why not? And not, let's get it out of the way. This is not a how-to video. Okay, you are taking your own life in your own hands. You do what you want to do. This is just something I'm interested in and want to try myself. On that note, you fall, you die, you break something, that's on you. Don't come back to me and say, well, all your artistry did it. They told me to do it. Nope, won't work. So, but anyways, to the fun part. So why couldn't we just take one of these fall harnesses and turn it into a tree saddle? I mean, there's, make a platform. You got any little bit of welding skills? I mean, this thing does not have to be huge. It's a platform and a dangly thing you hang from. So we're gonna go with that. We're gonna try it. You know, just using all those materials you've already got from your tree stands that you've already purchased. Now I'm going to leave, I've been contemplating leaving the fall restraint right on this harness. That way, if, you know, I'm not going to crawl into my tree saddle that day and I want to crawl into my regular hang-on stand, I can still wear this. Just clip in, still there. And also, if you're not 100% sure you're sewing or anything else, clip in. You know, it's made to keep you alive. So, you know, and I'll probably clip in for a while until I know for a fact that everything's kosher in Denmark. So yeah, let's get started. I just want to make some cuts really on this. I'll put it on and then we'll come back and we'll go over where I'm thinking of sewing some stuff and adding some stuff. You know, you can add your mollies if you want to. I got an old trampoline fabric out back. The frame's gone. That stuff is also strong material, and it's got little hangers for the springs. Why couldn't you use them as mollies? I mean, the sky's the limit. You got an idea, run with it. You know, you never know. It might be the greatest thing since sliced bread. You might turn into a business. You don't know. So this is something I'm interested in, and if you're watching this video, you are too. Think about tree saddles and getting into it and not spending a lot of money and figure some stuff out. So again, follow along and we'll make this thing and see what happens. All right, I'm going to put this on. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. I've got the harness on. You know, so it already feels comfortable. Like, you know, this one is not bad. I mean, for a bunch of straps, you know, car seats basically, these feel comfortable. I mean, it needs some stuff to make it a tree harness. You know, let me go back to my little stick man. So we would have to add the saddle itself. So where your butt, let me go back a little bit, where your butt would sit. And you can see we've already got one cross piece in the back. So I'm thinking if we add some more strapping from a different tree stand from here where it's already sewn, where it goes around your legs, to the other side where it's sewn and it goes to your legs, you'll have a piece that goes all the way across your butt. That's the saddle part. That's where you can sit, you know, and be comfortable. We got to build a platform, but that won't be until after this is done. The bridge. The bridge is the part that comes across right here. So we've got these two spots where it's already sewn. Now either we could tie our bridge, you know, there's a whole bunch of knots that you can learn right on YouTube. I did. I watched them. I haven't done them yet. But I'm thinking maybe sewing in, I don't know. I like the fact that I could connect these that are already here. You know, less failure points. I mean, honestly, I don't want this thing to fail. So if I tie my knots here and then make our bridge just a short little, you know, 17, 18-inch bridge that comes off your belt, would hang down when you're walking in, and when you get to your, once you're in the tree and you want to clip in, you tighten up, loosen up. So really, we're not taking away from the safety side of this. You know, we're not cutting, we're not doing anything. We're adding a strap for our butt, and that's not going to be the failure, or that's not going to be a point where if you fall, this isn't going to matter. It's not this that's causing, it will rip out and you fall to your death. So, you know, these are meant to be worn in case you fall, in case of emergency. So we may add the ropes down here, right around the strap, right back here. It can't move then, you know, or up in here. These are the spots I haven't decided. I kind of like it right here because as I lean back, I kind of feel the back straps pulling on me, you know, as for like a comfort thing. Or, you know, if you're down here, I don't really feel it pulling on my back where you're going to be leaning into the saddle. So I like, so if you're going to do this at home, you know, put it on whatever harness you have and just kind of pull, feel where it's pinching, where it's pulling, where it's, where you feel like it's like that's not comfortable. I don't like it there. I like it here, and I really do like it right here. I like it kind of right here. But with the knots, if we tie them, and I don't like that, we untie the knots, move it, and we still have where it's factory sewn here and here, or up here, and so when we add in that material in the back, basically it's just a seat to sit in, and then your ropes hold you in place. Like I said, we're not taking away from any of the structure at all, what this fall harness has been designed for. Like again, now you can, if you want, take this off. I am probably going to leave it on. Maybe I'll roll it up in a ball and put a rubber band around it or a zip tie or something where if I want to use it sitting in a regular tree stand, I still can. The fall resist is there. So, down here we've got our buckles. All this is just going to be exposed. You're going to be sitting on these. And when you get up in the tree, I have these kind of loose right now. I know they're going to be off to my side because that's where everything's going to mount. When you get ready to make these, put it on, try it, see what you like, see what you don't like, and go from there. Do your adjustments and everything else. I've been thinking about this for a few days, and I think it can work. I really do. I've been running through my mind scenarios and everything why it couldn't work. But again, you're doing this on your own. I'm not a professional. I'm a professional blacksmith, not a hunting saddle guy. So, it's on you. I was almost thinking about adding like a snap right here to pull these in so you can still feel like it's on your back, but the more I wear it, the more I don't think we need to, especially if you put those, your bridge right here. I'm still learning the terminology. Like I said, I've been interested in this, but I don't want to spend the money. So we add the webbing, our butt spot, old camo you got, that worked great in here. It's nothing structure. So, okay, on that, we're going to bring you over to the bench, figure out, actually, we probably ought to take a marker. Maybe you take a marker and mark where you want. But I mean, with this one, it's so simple. You just got two straps that come down. So, I mean, it's the back side of those straps. Maybe I'll draw an arrow or something with a marker pointing which way. So when this is off me, I can know which way it's got to go, what's going to be sewn, where it's going to be sewn. Right up underneath here for the back support. Over here for the back support. That's pretty much it. So we're going to have maybe we'll do two. One here and one here. Like I said, this is where your butt's going to sit. So it's got to attach to something. So you're going to have to add some, two straps, one here, one there. And then you can sew maybe a third strap right across the middle. It doesn't have to be this. You can go hog wild. So we're not doing anything with the integrity of the fall harness. We're just adding to it. We're modifying it. So, all right, let's get started. Bring it to the bench, and we'll get going. So I've got the harness laid out on the bench. I'm going to take a measurement of this strap in the center, because that's the length we're going to want to go from there to there to there to there. We're going to need two of them. Let's see what we got here for implements for measuring. Here's one. Okay, well, it's going to be over a foot long. So we're going to want to go from there. There's 12 inches. And it looks like, so it's got to be 16 inches long. We're going to need two of them. Okay, we'll get those two cut, and we'll be back. Okay, we got the butt webbing, I'm going to call it, cut. I left them a little long because I want to be able to burn the ends like they do in the factory on a lot of these. Keep them from fraying, catching on stuff. I'll probably do that before I sew it on. And to sew it, like I said, I'm going to use just some wax thread that we use for leather, a sewing needle, and we're going to do it all by hand. I did a test one and put it in my vise and really pulled on it, and it did not come apart. I had to use a seam ripper to get it loose. So I think this is going to work. Like I said, this is on you, but why not? Give it a try. So I'm going to burn these ends. I'm going to get my needle all set up and ready to go. And I'm going to match this sewing that they did, the cross stitch and around the box. You know, you do the box, go around the edges, and then they do a cross stitch. And it looks like they doubled them up. And so I will double up my thread too. It's going to be double the strength. So, all right, we'll get that. And once we get this sewed in, we'll put it back on, see how it feels, see how everything is. If we don't like it, we get the seam ripper back out, we do it again. So we'll be back when this is sewn together. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, I've got it sewn in right over to here, right over to here. It goes right across my butt. So it's nice and comfortable. I didn't add the back support yet. I want to do that after I check and make sure that this is going to work. So now I can kind of sit right on that, and it sits right under my butt cheeks. Pull it down a little bit, good to go. It sits right under my butt cheeks, so it takes the pressure off your legs if you're in the harness. So now we're going to stop on this, and we're going to start working on the quick stick. The platform. Work on the platform, get that going, and I've got an idea for that too. We'll bring it back over to the bench, explain what I'm thinking, and then we'll go from there. Okay, we'll be right back. Alright, I just wanted to show this off me. So there's the part that goes down the back. This is the part we sewn in. Like I said, we did it with the string that we use for doing leather work. So, okay, now let's go over to the bench and look at what we've got a plan for a platform. So, you know, if you're a hunter, you've got tree stands, hang-ons, climbers, stuff like that. You probably got some kind of like quick stick. You know, just strap it to the tree right here with these, ratchet it in, and then you've got steps to go up. What I'm thinking is if we cut this off right here underneath where it would attach to the tree. Now this is an older one, that's why I don't mind. You can see it's a little rusty and dusty. Clean that up and give her a new paint job so she'll have some more life to her. If we cut this off right here, we'll have all this extra tube to work with. But we need this piece here. So we need to weld it right in here, which isn't a big deal. You know, a couple little welds, done deal. You know, just grind out the welds that are in there, move this up, set that there. Now you've got one little section for your platform. Now at the top of the platform, we will take and we will add the actual platform. So we'll grind this down flat, cut it off flat, or grind it down flat. And then we can build off from this. You know, so it'd be like a square, come out a foot or so, square, foot or so, and then back in, and then just something for the top. And then you've got yourself a quick, easy, little cheap platform with something you've already have, or you know, you might be able to pick one of these up at Walmart for 25, 30 bucks. You know, I'm trying to do this as cheaply as possible. The ropes, now you can buy the ropes pre-manufactured with the carabiners and everything. So that's, if you want to go that way, you can. Or you can go and buy climbing rope. It's the same stuff. And tie it all up, put all the knots in it yourself. There's a lot of YouTube videos on how to tie the knots. You know, if you don't trust your knots, then don't do this. But, you know, with some practice and everything else, should work all right. And my thought too is if I don't like this setup, I can still easily just take the platform off the top of this, because I'm thinking about just bolting it. That way it'd still be usable. You know, you'll still have a step if you want. You know, it'll just be right here. So we may come right off this one. I haven't decided which way I want to go yet. Maybe this will be the bottom of the step that comes out here. You know, I don't know. But we are going to have a brace from underneath and up and over for the platform. So I guess we get this cut off, and then we'll take a look at what we've got going on and maybe draw up some plans or something. Like I said, just use your imagination, and it'll work. Just be safe, be careful. I'm going to do this, when I test this, I'm going to be like 2 feet off the ground. I'm going to have my platform, everything else. Pretend I'm way up in the sky, but I'm going to jump and everything else, where if I fall, it's only going to fall a foot. So before we take it to the woods, we'll have the stamp of approval. You know, you feel safe, you feel comfortable. If not, like I said, there's other means. You can go buy the $500 tree saddle if you want, or, you know, and that'll come with everything you need. You know, they can do a package deal. Or you can go buy a linesman belt for trimming trees and everything else. Now those are made to do the same thing. But then you have to purchase the platform, and then you have to purchase the ropes and everything else. So depending on your budget and depending which way you want to go, you know, if you're a DIY guy, you want to do this, there's ways. So, all right, we're gonna get this cut up, and then we'll be back. Okay, so I got everything cut up. Got to do some grinding on it. Here's the piece that goes up against the tree. Cut, ground down flat. If you look down here, you can see that ground flat too. Just got to get some good spots for it to weld. So, you know, clean up all that paint and everything that needs to be done, and then put on there and welded. So we'll go ahead and get that welded up, and then we'll be back with it. And, you know, and then we got to figure out the top part, basically the platform. We have the leftover tube, so we can probably use some of that too. It's 1-inch tube, square tube. If you can't use all this, go to Lowe's, Home Depot. They've usually got a steel rack there. So, but I'm going to use as much of this as I can and see what we can make with it. That way we're not spending money on this. A lot of money, because we still got to buy the ropes and do the tethering and stuff like that. But, you know, as little as possible. So we'll go ahead and get this welded up, and we'll be back. So here we are. It's another day. I mean, I'm just kind of doing this as, you know, I get time. You know, wood season, deer season, it's all kind of here now. So, but yesterday I worked on welding this up, getting, you know, this piece moved, cut down, all that stuff. Now these are just sitting here. I'm getting my idea. These platforms, chunks of steel I've got kicking around. I mean, it's going to get welded on. I'm about making these at an angle, so I got a little bit of a triangle shape. You know, it's what I like about this too is that if I don't like the tree saddle setup, I can probably turn this into just a small little platform to stand on, or even putting it lower on a tree and during gun season, sitting on it, you know, put a cushion on there. So, I mean, it's not a waste if I don't like it. So, and that's why I'm doing this. I don't want to spend that kind of money and not like tree saddle hunting. You know, I mean, I feel comfortable in a tree stand. I feel comfortable in climbers, ladder stands, lock-ons. I feel comfortable in those. I don't know how I'm going to feel on these. Hanging up from a tree by a rope with a saddle, you know. So we're gonna do some cutting, some welding. We'll get this platform on there. I'm thinking about maybe bringing down a couple wires just for the support, even about halfway, right in there, or maybe even a couple pieces of more steel. Weld them. This is the platform. It doesn't have to be anything super crazy. So we're gonna get to cutting, grinding, welding, and finish this piece up, and then figure out what we're going to do for the actual inside of the platform. Maybe I'll run some more pieces across and just have, you know, some of these on there. turn them upside down, then I got spots for cleats or something your feet to grab onto. I don't know, still playing. And I said this is just fun, not cost me anything. I have a welding rod, cut off discs. I've got $0 into this build right now. Not technically, I did buy this tree step years ago. So, you know, there's that. But for the price of getting into it, it's worth a try. So we're gonna do some cutting, grinding, welding. We'll be back. So I got everything tacked together. We'll bring you down here, take a look, give you my ideas of plans on how to make this thing safe. We want it safe. I don't want to fall out of the tree. And you never know. I've got a 17-year-old boy and a 14-year-old boy who both hunt, and they may want to sit in this. So it's got to be built that my boys will not get hurt or killed. So everything's just tacked together. I'll turn you around. You can take a look. Like I said, these are all just ideas. So here we go. I'll turn you around. So you can see, like I said, just tacked, 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 tacked. And this is the platform. I mean, this is how it's going to look, you know. And we're building this off from just an old climb-on stick. You know, I'll give measurements and stuff when we're all done. It's not very big, it's not very heavy. You know, it's, I think, 1-inch tube squared. You know, so it's what they use. Like I said, I'm using all reclaimed steel. All this stuff came out of some old electric panels from a big business. So you just find what you need, build it, make it safe, and enjoy it. Okay, so, all right, we're gonna keep welding, get her finished welded, and then figure out the insides and the platform. I've kind of got ideas, but we'll see. All right, we'll be back. So I'm gonna bring you in close, and you can see the platform. It's an old climbing stick that I cut up a little bit, you know, welded, added some steel. It weighs about 5 pounds. It could be lighter, but this is DIY, so you know, you do what you can, proof of concept, and then develop from there. I'm a blacksmith, so I have a smelter and all that stuff, so I may actually build a platform out of aluminum, melt it down, get everything I want, my pattern I want, make it extra light but extra strength too. So we'll get you turned around, we'll go over the platform a little bit, strapped to the tree here, and yeah, we'll go from there. So here's the platform. Like I said, I just welded some scrap steel on. It's just that old climbing stick strapped to the tree. And what's nice is I made this foldable, so you can actually tighten it right up. Tighten it right up if you want. And then when you got her tight to the tree, just like those climbing tree, or just like the tree stands, the hang-on tree stands, you can cinch her right in, you know, and then stand up on it. Really, not much to it. I went, you know, don't mind my booger welds. They are good. You know, primer and paint makes me the welder I ain't. But like I said, if you don't trust your welds, I trust my welds. Don't do it. It's really just the strap from the Gorilla tree stand. This was the Gorilla climbing stick, of course. I got a hardened bolt through here. Welded these tabs on so it can fold. It's just the hardened bolt goes through there with a lock nut. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm in the sunlight. The lock nut. It's got to be cut up a little bit, trimmed up, lose some fat. But yeah, it's just a little platform. And I made it big enough that if you, like I said, if you want to stand off the side of it, you can stand off the side of it. If you want to lean out the front of it, you can lean out the front of it. But also if you want to just stand up and take a break, you can. And I may even consider putting a small seat right here, just a foldable seat. Get it up out of the way, you can use it as a platform. If you want to take a break from the platform for a little while, you just fold that down and sit. You're still strapped in, still good to go. You ain't got to worry about falling. And then if you want to go back to just going harness, then you can fold your seat up and continue there. So, all right. Now we'll go over the harness and everything I have into it. We'll go over the harness and everything I have into it, and you can see what we got. So, all right, we'll be right back. So here we go. Proof of concept. It does work. These are not climbing ropes. These are just ropes. I'm trying this out, making sure this is proof of concept that it works. The knots are all right though. You know, we got your fisherman's knots and stuff like that. So it'll hold for now, and I'm only, you know, a foot off the ground. So if I fall, I fall into the leaves. No carabiner or anything like that yet. This is one of those just turnbuckle add-a-links. Just proof of concept. It pinches a little bit right in here, but not too bad. I can stand up right on the platform and maybe do some adjustments. Adding some cushion back there might work, but it's not too bad. I notice if I lean forward a little bit, like in the sitting position, it's not so bad at all. That extra strap we added fits right on your butt, so you're actually straddling, you're covering your butt cheeks. It's almost like you're sitting in a chair. So, you know, so far I like it. The stand is done. We'll go over that here in a little bit. So, like I said, don't follow. I'm not going to tell you how to tie the knots or anything like that. It's totally on you. And so far, I have zero money wrapped into this. Old climbing stick. Built a platform on it. It's foldable, so you can fold it up. And we'll go into that here in a minute. Adjustments. Slide up. Back if you want. There, I'm almost perpendicular to the tree. So, I mean, it works. But if I want to come back and back into the saddle, done. And I can go right off the edge of the platform, right into this tree if I wanted to. Swing back over. So, I mean, you can stand right on the platform, you can come right around. I got all these little trees in the way, or else I'd show you. But yeah, proof of concept, it works. This is a DIY. You can do it yourself. You know, if you're not wanting to spend the $500–600 or even more for a tree platform and everything, just to give it a try, and you're really good at welding and you trust your welds, then, you know, this will work. I'm going to get real climbing rope though. This is, you know, I think a bow line rope to a boat, some nylon rope, stuff like that, and I have it just tied in here into the straps with some fisherman's knots. So, you know, this will all be correct when I decide if I want to try this out or not. But, you know, you want to, and I made the platform just big enough that if I want to get off my back for a little while, I can just stand up on the platform. You know, still tethered in. You know, everything else, so I'm still safe. But yet, here we are. You know, I can lean right back, right into it. So, that's going to be it for this, really. You can do it yourself. You know, $0. Yes, it's ugly. You can spray paint it, make it look pretty. You know, and get the real ropes. They're real clasp. You know, real climbing clasp. You know, just for this. And that's it. And maybe I'll put the clasps here, see how they feel. If they pull on this, you know, come up around it maybe. But all in all, not too bad. I can lean forward. I can, you know, take a break. And I could see yourself standing in one of these for hours. I really could. They're not bad at all. You know? Yeah, I lose a little bit of vision there. Timber, wind. I'm coming, you two. I'll save you. Problems of filming outside sometimes. And uneven grounds. The things we go through for content. Gonna stay? Okay, so, you know, you two can do it. This is an old hanging strap, and I still have the tether. If you're not feeling comfortable, tether yourself to the tree. You know, the harness we have not affected. We have not taken out any of the structural design of the harness. It's still all there. It'll still be worn as a harness. You know, you can untie these ropes and still have, you know, your bridge, and hook your bridge, or you can leave it just the way it is if you want to walk in and out. Easy to get into. You know, walk in, carry your setup, you know, 3 or 4 climbing sticks, good to go. As I continue up the tree, we'll see, but I'm not going to go any higher until I have the real climbing ropes and stuff. Like I said, this is just for proof of concept. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So yeah, you know, if you have any questions, comments, you know, leave them in the description. Again, this is a DIY. This is all on you. You know, if you fall out of your tree to your death, don't come to me. You know, this is something that if you're not sure what you're doing or you don't trust your welds, have a professional do it, you know, or go buy one. Buy the whole setup. You can buy the whole kit. I think I've seen the cheapest one is $200, but that's not climbing sticks or anything like that. That's just a platform and your climbing harness, which is not much different than what we made. So yeah, if you have any questions, comments, leave them in the description. And thanks for watching, and like, follow, subscribe, all that good jazz. And this is Rob Lollier with Lollier Artistry. We'll see you guys later. Bye guys.